Yes, Charleston White is correct. I'm a rapper, not a dealer. Be sure to catch my new show, 50 Cent, 50 Ways to Catch a Killer.
I see that Meech Home concert got the streets talking. The biggest Meech Home, the streets back, that's what I'm talking about. That's how real niggas come home and get it down. 50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You ready? I will buy your masters.
50 Cent just fired shots at Big Meech after news broke that Rick Ross might have fumbled a jaw-dropping $120 million bag. Word in the streets is Ross had been promising Hollywood-style blockbusters, massive productions, and...
So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small-budget series. Now it's time to do a big-budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino, it's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big, I can feel.
Redefining opportunities. But when it came time to actually deliver, nothing happened. Straight up smoke and mirrors. And now, the backlash got fans roasting not just Ross, but anybody who actually believed the hype he was selling. Because let's be real, $120 million ain't no pocket change. That's empire money. That's wealth that could change generations. And for us to hype up all these big dreams, only to have them disappear into thin air, it makes the whole thing look like one major finesse. And of course, 50 Cent being 50, he wasted no time turning it into comedy, blasting Ross with that trademark savage humor, making him look like the biggest fraud walking in the industry. Now Meech out here looking broke while 50 keeps flipping his name into the ultimate punchline fans can't stop laughing at. The online chatter has gotten so wild that people are even joking the only way to settle this beef is if Meech steps in the boxing ring with 50 himself. And the wildest part? All of this mess circles right back to the moment Meech believed life after the streets would mean a full Hollywood comeback.
You understand that?
Can I call my mom or somebody?
We'll do that after.
Okay.
All right, just turn around for me, be cooperative. Everything's video and audio surveillance. Plus, I'm on body cam. You understand that?
So
That's when Rick Ross swooped in with his big flashy promises. He was talking about a $120 million movie deal, blockbuster-level projects, and building an entire empire around Meech's name. There's even a clip floating around showing Ross hyping it all up, sounding like he was about to change Meech's future forever. On paper, it looked like Meech was about to finally cash out big on his legendary reputation.
So Meech, I don't feel bad for no grown man on this planet. Like, I'm a grown man. Why the f I gotta feel bad for another grown man? Like, you a grown man too. Get what you asking for my sympathy for, and you be alright. Oh,
But when it came time to deliver, Ross never put down a single dime. Instead, he basically hijacked Meech's name as a way to flex on 50 Cent, his biggest rival in the game. While Ross was out here dangling fake movie dreams for clout, it was 50 who actually came through with the real bag. He put the BMF story on TV, paid for Lil Meech's acting lessons, and gave him the platform that Ross only pretended to create. And it ain't just 50 out here talking slick either. Tony Yeo decided to jump in too, co-signing the whole thing and pulling out receipts that proved 50 was the one actually cutting checks and making power moves. At the same time, fresh reports claim Meech is frustrated, broke, and finally waking up to the fact that Ross only ever linked with him as a petty jab at 50. That's flat out humiliating. Instead of leveling up like he thought, Meech now looks like nothing more than a pawn in somebody else's rap war. The man went from thinking he was sitting on a $120 million Hollywood bag to being reduced to a punchline in 50 and Ross's never-ending feud. And the craziest part? Fans are loving every second of the drama, clowning him non-stop like it's their favorite new soap opera. But those fake promises, that was just scratching the surface. The real chaos exploded when Meech's own son was spotted partying it up with Ross in the club.
February 13th, the big Meech Home benefit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, it's the first time it's ever been done. Me performing BMF with the icon himself. This shit gonna be special.
Epic.
Get your tickets right now.
I'm back.
This came literally days after those leaked texts dropped where Lil Meech allegedly typed out, F Ross, Ross, Ross. And then, out of nowhere, boom, he's right there in VIP, chilling with Ross like nothing ever went down. The clip spread across the internet like wildfire. Meech and Ross shoulder to shoulder, whispering in each other's ears, cheesing for photos, the whole club glowing red like something straight out of a movie, and you already know 50 wasn't about to let that slide. He hopped on Instagram with one of his classic troll posts, joking that Ross told Lil Meech to drop his dad's address so he could send over some Wingstop wings. That wasn't just comedy, it was a surgical strike. 50 was clowning Ross for handing out scraps instead of giving Meech real opportunities. And just when people thought the trolling couldn't get colder, 50 took it a step further. Out of nowhere, he dropped a now-deleted bombshell, claiming he personally had to send Lil Meech to rehab. According to him, the kid was showing up on set lit, even throwing up during a weapons test because he was too high. Then came the wild twist. They allegedly discovered whippets in Lil Meech's truck. 50 even admitted he didn't know what those were until he Googled it. He spun it like the older, wiser mentor trying to guide the kid straight, while Ross looked like the one hyping up reckless behavior. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Lil Meech caught a case at the airport. So when 50 laid all of this out, social media went crazy. The big question became clear. Did 50 actually save Lil Meech from destroying his own career? And if so, why was Meech still riding with Ross instead? That's when another name jumped in and made the drama even nastier. Michael Rainey Jr., Tariq from Power. He hopped on live, and when a fan asked if he felt bad for Lil Meech, Michael didn't hold back. No polite answers, no sugarcoating, just raw savage talk. The internet instantly ate it up, and the clip spread everywhere. And who reposted it with a laugh? None other than 50 himself. He doubled down, echoing Michael's words in his caption, showing the world he was backing his star actor all the way. That move cut deep. Suddenly it looked like Meech was losing respect inside 50's circle, and the streets were quick to notice. But the cracks had started earlier, way back when Big Meech's Welcome Back concert flopped. When he first came home, people expected fireworks, legends on stage, and a night stamped into hip-hop history. But instead of sticking with 50, the man who turned his story into a global TV empire, Meech leaned on Russ to push it. There's footage of them hyping it up like it was gonna be legendary. But the show? It never even happened. And for 50, that was a breaking point. From there, 50 turned the heat all the way up, accusing Meech of cutting secret side deals with the feds. He launched a trolling spree, while Meech fired back with an old picture of him and 50, but slapped a massive rat emoji over his face. No subliminals, no soft shots. He was straight up calling 50 a snitch. He doubled down, calling him an internet gangster, claiming all he does is talk tough online. Ross piled on too, mocking 50 for being bitter about their bond. To fans, it looked like Ross and Meech had teamed up just to poke the bear harder. Clips even surfaced of Ross clowning 50 directly while standing right next to Meech. But here's the messier part. While 50 gave Lil Meech real opportunities, acting roles, TV credits, an actual career path, Ross only ever handed out photo ops and VIP sections. Still, Meech looked more eager to align with Ross. That contradiction had fans clowning him harder than ever. Soon the whispers turned into headlines. Meech wasn't just trolling, he really wanted to fight 50. The rat posts, the Ross partnership, the trolling clips, it all snowballed into talk of a celebrity boxing match. Big Meech reduced to fight hype just to stay relevant. A lot of fans called it flat out sad. And then came the real bombshell. Whack 100 jumped in with a theory that shook the entire situation. He claimed Meech's close associate Tammy Cowens once told 50 that Meech had secretly worked with federal authorities on other cases. Translation? Whack was hinting that Meech wasn't as loyal to the street code as people thought. That's where 50's snitch narrative originally came from. With Ross in the picture, it just gave the story even more legs to run. To the streets, that image of loyalty Meech built for decades suddenly looked fragile. Backed against the wall, Meech was already looking shaky. But Whack didn't stop there. He claimed Tammy herself might have had her own reason for flipping sides. Maybe she felt left behind when Meech got locked up. Or maybe she was done with him trying to claw back the life rights he had already signed over to 50 for the BMF series. If true, that meant someone closest to him might have been quietly feeding 50 the ammo he's been firing for years. Whether fact or just chaos, Wack's words gave 50 even more leverage to keep clowning and pushing the snitch narrative harder than ever. Not long after, Big Meech popped out rocking Kanye West's legendary graduation jacket. At first glance, it looked like nothing more than a flashy retro flex. But fans instantly caught the hidden shot. That's the very same album that famously outsold 50 during their iconic 2007 face-off. Coincidence? Some shrugged it off. But others swore Meech was throwing shade on purpose, reaching back into history to remind everyone of a moment 50 never liked to talk about. But what really shook people wasn't what Meech wore. It was 50's silence. Normally, he's the first one to roast a goofy outfit, screenshot a pose, and turn it into meme material for the whole internet. This time, nothing. And that silence felt louder than words. Fans swore it meant only one thing. 50's loading something nuclear. Because when he skips the roast, it usually means a bigger blow is already in the chamber. Suddenly, this beef felt less like jokes and more like a Cold War ready to boil over. At this point, it's clear 50 isn't just trolling anymore. He's locked in. Most beefs fade with time, but this one only keeps building with every move Meech makes. Some say 50 feels betrayed after giving Lil Meech real opportunities, only to watch him cozy up with Ross. Others argue it's about power. 50 doesn't just want to win. He wants to crush anyone bold enough to cross him. And letting Meech slide would make him look weak, which is something 50's entire career never allowed. So if this ever moved from IG jabs to an actual boxing ring, it won't just be hype. It'll be the final round in a war that's already spiraled out of control. One man is swinging to protect his legacy. The other is clawing at it for clout, for laughs, for headlines. And with the way things are heating up, it's looking less like wild rumors and more like an inevitable showdown. But what do you think? Is this really headed for gloves in the ring, or will 50 bury Meech way before it even gets that far? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.